profile, LCOG, GCOG, that is what it is. And above that, we have built something called as test harness. What does this test harness do? Very simple. Simple is I can break my tests into multiple tests. I can start, stop, execute, use it multiple devices, and so on. That is the we call as test harness, and give you a lot of reports, graphs, and so on. So any of these what I've told you, you can use that and write your own applications, which basically provides you whatever the reports or the information you want. Basically, we use it for mobile as well. We have what we call as a host as well as a server application. So application is a host application. So for example, right? So sorry, yeah.
When you are starting the automation, might be the application is not yet built fully. So that time you all follow the stubbing the thing like here when the application is not yet fully built and you want to do the like code snippet kind of thing, like script by script to check the unit level of code testing. That time you will stub it and do it.
No, both ways.
Both ways.
Yes.
Because healthcare we usually do not want to do the stub thing because end-to-end clinical testing is a valid thing. So automation can take care of all those things.
Yes, yes. For we have what happens is even the CT, MRI machines as well, we don't depend upon the UI. For example, without UI, you want to know the results of whether the underneath application is working or fine or not. Then it is better to do this kind of testing. If you have UI, then it is not required. Using the DICOM services, you can test. If you do not have a UI during the development, you can use this. Yeah, so I will move on. So if anybody is assuming that this is very difficult to do, it is wrong. We have used it very, very easily. All what I am telling you is 1 person or 2 person, 1 month or 2 month effort of using this. That's it. Not much. We are not experts. Even though I am a developer and I have started my career in testing, but that's it. You have a lot of applications which you can use. In the morning somebody was mentioning about Cucumber and so on. You can just use it above these and run. This will solve many of your problems. So this is how it is. It can be any communication. You can build a test harness and your applications, for example, this way. So we use this for both simulator as well as actual device testing. So for example, when I have MRI, I cannot have an MRI machine everywhere. So I use MRI simulator and run. In an actual device, yes, you can do. So what you are seeing the picture is the actual tool UI. So tester, what we do is, the tester will not require programming knowledge. That's the thing I want to clear. So for the tester, it is drag and drop, and then in the back end, we write a script, and that is what he has to execute. So once he executes, he can either use it on a simulator as well as the actual device. So the simple statement will be from this machine to this machine, the IP address to this IP address, and what parameters you want to pass, and you will get the value back. So this is as simple as this. This is not complicated. Okay, so I will give you the result of one of the applications what we have tested. So what we do is, when we actually have the source code, what we call as, I'm just giving you the example of C unit statements. This can be written like this. Each of the variables what you have, you pass the value and check whether that should be valid or not. Then you have assert statements where basically you are actually checking the programming issues divided by 0 and so many things which usually developer makes. So we combine together and then we actually make the tool, and it gives you a result like this, and it actually tells them, it's a simple report, it'll tell you, okay, from this execution to this execution, it was done and it took so much of time. So it was very easy for us to follow this in our healthcare application as well. Okay, so the one example, most of you are aware of DICOM. Yeah, okay, so DICOM is just services which is available in the healthcare platform. It actually gives you services to use all this. So what we do is, for example, we develop a UI using which the DICOM services can be tested by the tester who do not have a programming knowledge. He need not have. If he has, it's good. But what we do is, okay, we open him patient record database and we give him all the data to enter. He enters and then we take it in the back end and it actually goes and gives the value selected, then it runs and he gives him execution result. So what we have done is, we basically given an interface for all these code level tools as a UI to make it easier for the tester to execute it. So this is, somebody told me one second, I'll go back. Apart from this, there are a lot of applications you can use which are still given by a product-based companies, but it's free. For example, Microsoft coded UI tool. It's free, you can use it. For any Windows applications, you can use it. So that's very easy to do UI testing using Microsoft coded UI. You have Squish, which is a commercialized tool. Then you have Auto IT, which I'm going to tell now. So this is the one of the examples. This is what I was telling you. We actually have a build and it automatically runs using the Auto IT scripts. So some of you have heard about Connectathon and MISA. This is basically if I am a Samsung company, then I should be actually able to connect with other companies who have a different device. Maybe from Philips, maybe from GE or Siemens. I should be compatible with others. This as well we have automated in our own way. So this is a specification which runs by default, and then we use this before going to any annual events like Connectathon, for example. So non-functional testing, Oracle VirtualBox. How many of you use Oracle VirtualBox? Okay, so it's very, very good tool. If you have, any healthcare application needs a database and you need to interact with the database, patient database and so on. So you can create your Oracle VirtualBox and keep that as a repository, and for your health application that works as a interface and you can perform your actions. MISA is another example. So many things are there. So these are all, we have two ways of doing this. For example, you asked whether it has to be code level. You can use a web interface as well. This is the one example where we've used web interface to do our testing. So basically, most of you might be aware of Heart. So we use DICOM services using Heart. So this is also based on web. We have used a web interface. So what we have done, this is actual data. In our experience, yeah?
Yeah, basically what was the non-functional testing part that was observed as part of picture archival and communication system?
It's just a terminology.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you.
We use it part of our non-functional testing part.
Okay.
Okay. So this is the actual data. This is for last 3 years. I have just given a simple diagram. When we were able to do this automation using open source tools, Our effort in initial days were very high, and when we actually started executing it on our life cycle, we saw a lot of effort saved, a lot. So you see the pink line, that's what is the effort we saved. So now it's been 3 years and we are using this effectively. For us to do this, our mobile experience came into help, but because we did not, even though we thought there is a risk, but we went on with our mobile experience. But in the end, it helped us this way. So I know there's a lack of time, I'll rush. One thing you have to deal with is, if you're going to use open source tool, is about this licensing issues, which you need to take care of, but nothing to worry as such. And benefit and conclusion, basically we have exploited these tools as much as possible, and as these are actually the community is evolving, and we are using much more tools than this. This is a subset, and we have used this a lot. See, in basic testing automation tools, you have 3 or 4 categories. One is based on record and play, one is based on object, and one is based on event. All these 3 types of tools you can find here. Whether it is CUnit, CPP unit, Google API, you have Google UI Automator, and so on. So apart from this, just to benefit for the people who are here, I'm going to run another slide which talks about what else we are doing. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yeah. So as I told you, I give an example. For example, MISA, as well as all the compliances, we are using this as well. Since for the interest of the people, I did not take the healthcare applications, but all the conformance testing, we are using these tools for conformance testing early in the stage at the code level. Yes, yeah, you can do it. Yeah, so basically, as I told you, right, compared to mobile, we felt the magnitude of tests is very high in healthcare. So we assess that these are the things which we need to automate. So it actually helped us more in healthcare. As I told you, we have our own conformance test for vendors. We have our conformance test, for example, MISA and Connectathon before going, and as well as we have our own releases which we make to all the vendors who already bought the Samsung devices. We run this before we actually release. This is just a generic example what I gave. But all those healthcare applications, including the DICOM services, including all the confirmation suites, were run as a part of life cycle, like MISA and so on, Connectathon and so on. So another thing, just for the interest of the people, we have used robotics for the first time in healthcare applications as well. This is new. This is our experience in mobile. So we were able to use robotics in testing. There are a lot of ways you can test which you can avoid. Somebody was asking me about how much you can automate. We have automated using robotics. So this, we keep, okay, I'll just give you an example. It's a hand and it has a stylus and it does the operation of all your healthcare devices based on the inputs what you give. It's like your UI automator, but it's a robot. The difference is you will be able to actually simulate a person there. So we have done that. We have been very successful. And another best practices I want to mention here is we actually connect remotely to the MRI and the CT software and run it from India. So we were able to do this. You can also try. So our MRI machine is in South Korea, and we were able to do this as well here from India. So you have, since it is a TCP/IP based, you can try this as well. So I just wanted to share with you. So just summary, so we have automated up to 40% now. We are just learning and we are evolving. This has benefited us a lot, and we have saved a lot of money, we have saved a lot of manual effort, we have increased our testing efficiency using this. And for your reference, you can check with all this, where you can get all these tools as well as documentation of whatever we are used. This is free. You can just access, and maybe it will be helpful for you. Thank you. If there is any question, I can.
Automation is done, like CT simulated to DICOM export
Yes.
or deployment,
Yeah.
and it works fine.
Yeah, we have what we call as patient life cycle. We have done patient life cycle for all our releases.
The automation fails. It
Yes,
will be not
we have done
always
that.
same.
What we have is we have our own software which actually stops it there and goes to next and then starts.
Okay, thank you.
This will be running in the background as a 24/7 auto build and auto test configuration.
On a device and off the device. I know it's, you have the interoperability concept imbibed into that, but having said that, what are the best practices that if you could share in doing just the software validation versus the device validation?
That's all right.
Robotics is primarily for, manual intervention of a particular human action.
Yeah.
However,